Why am I all the way down here? What in the world is going on? Like, what? Oh, come on. There I am. How's that? Is that better? Okay. Hi, everyone. Wow, we got 6 people in here. A minute ago it was 9. Holy crap. For a pop-up. That's impressive. And of course, as soon as I get live, there's a fire call. Let's see what happened here. Oh, that sucks. Wow. What's my luck? Cat. Hello, everyone. Let me focus. Here we go. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Let's scroll up. All right. The Devil Demon's here. And Coro Works is here. That's a good one. I like that. We'll be listening. For real, doing that water change this time. No more distractions. Minor details, because killifish we do love our killifish, and also they don't need many water changes. Yay, everyone is streaming today. Hello, Nano, First Class Fish Flow, and welcome, Jenna P. Diane, welcome. Oh my, that's a large shrimp. That's what she said. First Class Fish, Mickum, Kyle, hello, Kyle. Did you answer me in Discord? I thought of you today. Let's see here. Let's scroll up on Discord. Kyle did not answer me. But it's okay. I was just thinking of you. Stephen P. Yeah. I don't have anything to talk about. I just felt like doing a pop-up. I'm off today. A last-minute planned kind of contradicts itself. So yesterday, I went to my boss and I said, so I had to come in on Sunday for almost a half a day on my day off. My next day off was Monday, and my phone started going off at 7 a.m. and continued for about 3 hours of dealing with work stuff. And last night, I had to stay late until 8 o'clock because it was jelly cylinder cleaning night. I deserve a day off. And I said, do you want it to be Wednesday or Friday? And he said Wednesday. I said, you got it. So I had a productive morning, worked on a bunch of Clash stuff. Now I got a couple hours until I am going to dinner. Okay, Kyle. So I literally just saw before I typed it in Discord that there was a plane who couldn't get his front wheels to come out or something, had to do an emergency landing, and they all had to use the slides to come out. It made me think. What colors aquarium gallery podcast? What? Just having that. Oh, really? On Achilles. They are a great podcast with plenty of back episodes to check out. Fresh and salt, mostly fresh. Good story too. I don't even know how to listen to a podcast if I wanted to. I know how to watch YouTube though. Which I will say, there's not that much killifish content on YouTube. There's, like your general fish keeper that might do a killie spotlight on one type of killifish, or you might get a random stream that's all about killifish, but there's not like killifish channels. Why is that? Why do you think that is? I think it's because a large percentage of the killifish hobbyists are older and not big onto computers, especially YouTube. There are some exceptions, but not that many in my I don't want to say my experience that I have found. If there are some really good all killifish channels, let me know. I want to find them. No. You see, the problem is if I don't have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn, I will stay up late if I need to. So, for example, last night we played Dungeons and Dragons, my second time, and I'm loving it. Um, we went till like midnight, I think it was, but that was fine because I did not have to wake up early. Now, granted, I still woke up at like 7, 6:30, 7 o'clock, um, but I was able to stay in bed for about an hour and um, and relax. So, whereas if I were to stay up that late tonight, um, tomorrow I have to be up at like 6:30 and get right out of bed and go to work. Um, there's actually a lot happening at work tomorrow morning. We're doing 2 drills and a shark procedure, I think. Yeah, so it's gonna be busy. And I think I have a meeting too tomorrow. I got a busy day tomorrow. Um, yeah, I might have a meeting. I got an email. The FBI. Cool. All right. Dinner date, future Mrs. Fish Freak. I wish. No, on Wednesdays I go to a local restaurant that has live music on Wednesdays, and I love live music. Um, I do have a lot of friends that go there as well, so and really good bartenders. Um, but I would say on a regular basis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consistently. 5 friends go there on Wednesdays as well, consistently. Um, and the food is delicious. I love it. So yeah. Now, could I find Mrs. Fish Freak there? I hope, but I doubt it. Okay, Colin knows what I'm talking about. Very good. Let's see here. Oh, my Fish Tank Aquatics. Hello and welcome. Was there something I needed to ask you? Maybe not. Why do I feel like there was something I need to ask you? I don't know. Whatever. Jellyfish are also quite strange and rare, so many common hobbyists doesn't even know about them. Yeah, that very well said. Absolutely, very well said. Latoya, hello and welcome. Sarah, hello and welcome. Oh, Koro. I like that. Yeah, exactly. Um, I it's I am in a very long holding pattern right now, I guess we could say, with my tanks. There is so much I want to do, and I've been wanting to do, but I'm not because, like, any day now, I could find that house, and when you do so in the market right now, you gotta act quick. And, like, within 30 days. Yeah, because I would have to give 30-day notice here. Um, but literally within like 30 days, I could be in my house. So it's stressful, and there's just so much I want to do. Like there's fish that I have in some smaller tanks than what I want to have them in because I'm gonna be getting a house. It's gonna happen, and I don't want to set them up in a bigger tank now knowing that I'm just going to have to break it down soon. So, like, I'm looking right now at my Epiplatus DJI, no, Monroe. What the heck are those? They're Epiplatus killifish, and they're easy. Epiplatus killies are easy to spawn in the right conditions. Right now, I don't have them in the prime conditions, meaning the tank is slightly too small. The tank is, it's a crappy tank. I don't like it. It's very difficult to get into and grab the mops and stuff like that. And I just don't have it set up right. I have a plant in there that I needed to find a spot for until I set up a better tank for him. And it's killing me because it's a killifish. It's easy to breed. I would love to be more successful. The same thing with the Chromo-Aphyosemian, what are they? Volcanums, I think they are. Same thing. I have them in a critter keeper. It's a bigger critter keeper. It's I think it's a 3 gallon, probably 3 or 4 gallon critter keeper. And there's so much more, especially if I remove the adults and put them into a different tank, it would be so much better. And then hopefully we'd get eggs. Also, with the setup I have in this apartment, it's a pain in the ass to do water changes. I already hate doing them as it is, and it just makes it even more challenging. So if I had a setup where maintenance was easier to do, I would do better with it. I could have bigger tanks. You know, I would love to. There's quite a few tanks that I would love to have slightly bigger, and I could be a lot more successful than what I am right now as well. I had to throw out my carbon monoxide detector today. All that beeping was giving me a headache and making me dizzy. Good grief. What's a shark procedure? When they go scuba diving to catch a shark from the exhibit, take it out, and basically it's like an annual checkup, a physical. They draw blood, they take measurements, they might do like an ultrasound or something like that. Yes, I love your jokes. Rebecca, hello and welcome. Look up the mangrove killifish, Cryptoleus marmoratus. Weird fishes too long to explain. Is that the killie that does not need a partner to spawn with? If I could easily highlight that, I would put it into Google. I would copy and paste it. But I'm not even going to try to remember how to spell that to search it. I've also never seen any in person, so I can't do a video without any footage. That sucks. That's one thing I really admire about Rebecca's streams and her videos are she does so much research on everything, and it's just like a wealth of knowledge. It's I almost want to say that it's overwhelming for my Delaware education. It's like knowledge overload, but that's a good thing. I did my end of school project on. Oh, really? Yes. Okay, I'm right. That would be Rebecca, how much information could you present on that? Could that be a 2024 Keystone Flash Talk? Wow, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Am I sinking? What is going on? Why do I keep on sinking? This one? There we go. I feel like I just did that. Why did it happen again? Alright, fish family, hello and welcome. Cross a shark with an octopus, a call from the ethics board, and immediate withdrawal of your funding. That's funny. Okay. Never been able to really track any down. I know someone who had them, but gave them to a zoo. How do you perform a shark procedure? Very, very carefully. Yes. And that's why I get, anytime they are doing a procedure like any, I guess, is it any? Yeah. Anytime they're doing a procedure on something from one of the two big exhibits or any of the dangerous smaller exhibits, I get notified and often need to be there as well. Yeah, those types of stores just don't have the funding um, or manpower to do stuff like that, really. And they often have guidelines they have to follow. There we go. So yes, hermaphrodites. Both male and female self-fertilizes by choice. Males do exist via two methods, and if hermaphrodites find them, they are popular. Yeah. Yes, for sure. Got to split them up into two. I love this killy talk. It's my kind of street. I can research quite a bit, but that and sex determination is a personal curiosity of mine. Catfishes are my specialty and evolution since uni has as a career hobby. Right. I just personally I love killifish. Um, I'm just curious how much info do you have on killifish, maybe specifically that species, because it is an extremely rare and not often talked about species that I think could draw a lot of attention. But any of those ideas, we'll talk. We'll talk. Required to be there for the shark procedure, job title, or your background as an all the above. So I am the safety supervisor. So anything safety related falls under my realm, whether it is first aid kit checks, fire extinguisher checks, the fire alarm, the sprinkler system, security, our relationship with our on-site state trooper, managing the security company, the auditing of safety procedures and safety culture overall, prevention of all the above. I have to, not only is it my job to prevent, and when something does happen, handle it, but also report all of that data and plans and incidents and such to corporate as well, and do a whole presentation quarterly. Safety training, all of that stuff would be, would fall under, or does fall under me, I should say. Now, the way I got the job is because of, yes, previously being an EMT, firefighter, security guard, safety instructor, all of those things is, and my beautiful blue eyes, is how I got the job. So doing a shark procedure is a safety critical operation. So number one, they're going scuba diving. That happens on a regular basis. Every time they dive, I don't have to go and be there. They do that multiple times a day. But catching one of those sharks is a little bit more riskier. And then when you get it out of water, it's a lot riskier. And when you're doing stuff to it, and then when you put it back in. So if I'm available, depending on what exactly they're doing, sometimes I have to be there. Other times they just make me aware of it, and I would also make, if I'm not there, or even if I am, there's other people I would make aware of the operation. My boss, security. If I'm not there, the person that is covering me, which is, they're always from another department, but they are very safety conscientious. I'm liking all the. Yep. Not sure I'm such an amateur on the exact terminology, but I know he wrote an article about the studies. He's Dr. Ola Svensson. I also still have all the books. It was just a literature review type document, not just killifishes are interesting. There's a lot in other fishes. Yes. I know a killifish talk would be very well received at the Clash. We've had them in the past. A lot of our attendance is made up of killifish hobbyists. And also on Saturday at noon, Clashy, Jenna, anyone else on the committee, if you're lurking, remind me. We got to do something. Please remind me. Pretty please. We need to do something about the Mid-Atlantic Killie organization. And now we need to announce it. So anyway, Mid-Atlantic Killie organization is the local killifish club. And on Saturday at noon at the Clash, they are going to be, again, just like last year, hosting a meet and greet type thing and an auction, which was very well attended last year, which was awesome. So it's open to anybody. And they have some soda and snacks too. Yep, I agree. Beautiful blue eyes. Indeed. Oh no, I'm at the bottom? I've been rambling. I figured there'd be a whole bunch of stuff going on down here. So some other stuff. Since Monday, is it the, no, that's in addition to that. So the carnivorous plant auction is, I forget what time. I think that's already on the calendar, maybe. That's happening. And then there's the killifish auction. And then, of course, on Sunday, there's our big auction. Rainer, hello and welcome. So since my stream on Monday, we have had 5 full registrations, additional 5 full registrations, and an additional vendor, which also upped overall combined, upped our all-inclusive number by 8. So we are now, in between the registrations and the vendor and their workers, we are now officially less than 10, like in the single digits, for passing last year's registration numbers and last year's all-inclusive number. We are, I want to say it's like 5 and 8, maybe. It rings a bell off the top of my head. So those are the only two numbers left to make this year's event bigger than any other Keystone Clash ever. We just got to get that registration number up a few more. And I mean, that very well could automatically it would up the all-inclusive number, possibly enough, I'm not sure. Emma, hello and welcome. Lurking and working. Sounds terrible. Yeah, let me check that. Would the same number do both? Registrations, we are 5 away. All inclusive, we are 7 away. So, yeah, so they are two different numbers. So, I mean, we are in the single digits for passing. Which is really exciting and nerve-wracking. And it takes a lot of work. So yeah, it's really exciting. The vendor room's almost sold out. We have probably 5 to 10 vendor spaces left. I don't have it open. Oh. Cool. Very good. What's this? Sorry, I'm multitasking. Another call. Haven't had a single call, and then I get busy and we start getting all the calls. Now I can't find the right tab. There I am. So yeah, what was I about to say? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What the heck was I about to say? I don't know. The 450 rice fish eggs that I got. I put some methylene blue in today. I did a water change. And oh, it's a vehicle fire. In looking at the eggs, none of them have turned a solid blue. So if I remember correctly from the last time or previous times I've used methylene blue, if the eggs are not fertile, when you add methylene blue, it would make them turn a darker shade of blue. That has not happened to these, so maybe they all are fertile. Before I did the water change, there were some that were fuzzy, so I did remove them. And yeah, I'm just waiting to see something moving in there. When I see something moving in there, I'll probably put some microworms in there. I have a beautiful culture of microworms going from Latoya, from Land and Lakes and Critters. What the heck's the name? Hold on, I'm sorry. Lake to Land Aquatics Plus. Got a great microworm culture from her. And yeah, it's doing very well, and I haven't killed it yet, which is amazing. And what's this? What's going on here? Very popular today. That's funny. Okay. All right. Holy crap, we got 20 people. That's amazing. If you can all start talking in chat, please, I'd really appreciate it. I don't know how Rico does it. Rico does all these pop-ups. I mean, sometimes he does it every single day. And chat, he gets a Rico behind because there's so much chat. I don't know how he does it. Do I have anything else to talk about? I have a question. So, in addition to those eggs, I got these floating plants. And right now, I have them, I'm trying to separate them so I can figure out what is what. So, I have them in specimen containers with water. Number one, can they, here comes a fire truck. Okay. So number one, I know the plants aren't going to thrive in a specimen container, but will they survive? Again, my reasoning. I'm going to possibly be moving very, 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 very soon. I'm working on breaking down tanks. It is my goal when I set up my new fish room to have not deli cups that hang on specimen containers. Isn't that what they're called? Am I using the wrong name? The little boxes that, when you go to catch a fish. Isn't that called a specimen container? Am I going crazy? It's possible. Anyway, when I set up my new fish room, it's going to be my goal to have more tanks. Not many, many more, but more. But more bigger tanks as well. And with substrate and probably 4 species of plants per tank and maybe some floating plants as well. Like 1 floating plant per tank. So if I have 40 tanks, it's like 160 species of plants I could have in the substrate, plus another 40 floating, possibly. And obviously, I'll be taking them out of the pots, which I've been saying the whole freaking time. But I want to try to... Now, I'll have a couple community tanks that are for looks, display tanks, which will be full of all different mixed plants and stuff like that. But I want to try to keep the different species separate or easily identifiable. So, yes, I could put an Anubias really close to a Cryptocorn. They look totally different. My dummy self would be able to distinguish them. But I that's my goal, is to be able to keep them easily separated or at least distinguishable. Except for my display tanks, like I'm pointing over here. This tank I think is a 46. I think I would forget. It's a bow front. So when I move it, will probably start leaking. That's what they do. But I really think that would be a great looking community tank with tons of different plants mixed together and community fish. Whereas most of my other tanks that I have are usually species only, unless, like, I have a 10-gallon with a bristlenose pleco and least killifish. They're easy to tell apart. They're not going to crossbreed. I have my PBL shrimp with my yellow neo shrimp. I have pygmy cories with tangerine tigers. Different stuff like that. So that's really what I want to do is have unique tanks, not a bunch of combined ones, for many reasons. Number one, I like to know what the different plants are, and I absolutely suck at it. I'm getting better, but overall, I'm not that good at it. So that's one. Number two, I want to propagate them, take them in for HAP points, and also put them in auctions to get money, but also to put these plants into the hobby and potentially to people that need them and don't have them, even if it's for free. That's what it's all about. If I can't surely identify what it is, I might not necessarily want to do that. They need light and nutrients. Scoop some aquarium water into them and keep them under some sort of lighting nearby, and they should be okay. Perfect. Perfect. I can do that. I mean, I already am, but I could do a little bit better. Deli comes for the win. Yep. You've lost it, but it is a Lee's specimen container. Yeah. Dip and pour. Diversity of plants is amazing, almost creating some botanical garden selection. That would be the other thing. I mean, I could potentially divide the lower sections of an aquarium. Like, that would be a cool plant farm type idea. Put actual dividers in and separate the different sections. That I kind of like that idea. That'd be pretty cool. You could almost have even little, like, the best way I can describe it are walkways in between the sections in the tank. That'd be cool. That'd be pretty awesome. Kind of like that idea. The way these larger vehicles speed on this roadway here is sickening. What's this? Oh. Yeah. So tonight, there's quite the lineup on YouTube. You got Brianne and Dave. You got Dan. You got the Max Streamy, whatever the heck it's called. I think there's two more and I'm missing them. They kind of do that with betta tanks sometimes, like the big betta rack setups at some fish stores. But I'm talking about within. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes, but for the bettas, it's a complete tank divider. What I'm picturing is like halfway. So like I have a 20 high. The bottom half would be divided. The top would be open. I just think that'd be fascinating. Why is that window open? Okay. All right. Oh, one is a Clash speaker strategy. You should know him. What are you talking about? Dan. I said Dan. Bentley. Is Bentley going tonight? Check the calendar. Is Bentley before Dan? No. Jason goes the same time as Dan, prime time o'clocks. I need to get a hold of him. I need to make sure he's got an airplane ride, or however he's commuting. So yeah, we have Brienne, Co-op. There's another, so Dan, Primetime, Streamy McStreamy. Another interesting one that's on tonight that a lot of people don't watch is called Wine Wednesday with the Seahorse Whisperer. Quite fascinating. Zen goes in there a lot. And it's a panel that talks about seahorses and many different aspects of it. Pretty fascinating. I enjoy going to that one too. You should try it. I've thought about something like that, utilizing like the density difference between fresh and salt, like they do in some of the brine hatcheries. Oh, that's way too advanced for me. Way too much work for me. Nope. I don't like all that idea. But I think it would be really cool to do a larger tank and divide it for like plant stuff. You really got to be careful about doing stuff like that, especially like if you're going to start mixing fish and stuff and dividing it with the slots for flow because of diseases and stuff. That's another reason why I keep so many tanks of unique species. I would rather keep multiple 2.5s and 5s and 10s and 20s than just saying a couple bigger 40s, because I want to keep all my fish separate so that there's no cross contamination and also no spreading of diseases. Don't get me wrong, I really do want to get some 40 breeders. I love that footprint along with some 60s. But I will always have the numerous smaller sizes to keep things separate. Yeah. Yes, with the sumps, yeah. And it sucks because in a fish room setup, it could make it so much easier too. Unless you have a really high-tech filtration system, then that could make it better. But yeah, that's definitely an issue. I mean, again, I love my multiple little tanks with sponge filters. It's a win-win for me. Because what I do have is the big air pump and a central air system that I don't really have to worry about diseases with spreading because of air, you know. Most stores have big UV filters before water enters the main tanks again. Yes, and that's exactly my point. You would need something special like that to make that work. Now, let me ask, and Rebecca, you'd be the perfect person to answer this. With a system like that, what is the chance of disease spread? When you have, I'm assuming it's like what would be a wet-dry filter with a UV filter. What are the chances that you can still get spread? Yeah, an inline UV. So if you have, I'm assuming with a big sump like that, it would be a wet-dry, right? Well, what would be a big filter that, or I don't know, what would you use? Depends how careful with nets, your hands, etc. are. So if there's not human error, we'll call that human error, if there's not human error, what are the chances? Meaning cross-contamination. So if you don't have to worry about cross-contamination, mass, a canister, fluidized filters, yeah, I've seen them. I think that's what we have. I think we have, I think at work they use a lot of fluidized filters. And then we have drum filters too, which I guess is a type of canister filter. I've seen canister filters with UV in the canister, and I don't know how that would affect the sponge. UV sump as well, okay. I've not had any issues apart from white spot, which I think was from a supplier. But let's say you bring in a fish that has something. So let's say you have 10 tanks with a central sump. In that sump is your filter, or connected to the sump, is your filter and your UV filter. And you bring in a fish that's bad or has a disease, what is the likelihood that it's going to spread to the other tanks through that system? Will the UV and the filter prevent that from happening? Fluidized bed filters are really efficient, but they are garbage for mechanical filtration. Yeah, I mean, at work we have multiple large rooms of filtration. It's awesome to walk through, but I don't understand all of it. I've never asked either. We also, I know for a fact, at work we have ozone. We have two ozone rooms. I'd say the UV should deal with most of it. Awful painful to constantly siphon the tank. Yep. So, Coro, I know it would probably be an issue for me to do it as an employee. However, I know we do tours and people have filmed. But I don't know that they would allow a biologist to go and explain everything on camera. But I know they do behind the scenes tours. If the drop in barometric pressure can create the blinding, I don't know what that word is, of pain that currently is my brain, what does it do other? Oh no, that's terrible. It triggers some debris. Yep. That is true. All right. Oh, Rico Stan went live. I did not know he was going. Not know he was going. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to go over to Rico because I've been going for almost an hour, which is what I like. And I'm running out of things to talk about. So it's actually perfect. It works out perfect. All right. It's strange how pressure affects animals. I think air pressures can affect bones as well with no reason why. Yeah. I went into a restroom where the entire ceiling was a UV light, no other lights. Ooh. All the rainwater this week will hopefully trigger the tetras. I'm guessing that's in your tubs. It's not the best neighborhood. Tom, do we have a meeting tomorrow night? I think we do. I wish. Never mind. I'm not going to say. Yeah. I'll send you a message. So, that's tomorrow night. Yeah. All right, everyone. Go over to Rico. I'll talk to you all next week. See ya.